We visit with the mayors on Wednesday, and Bobby Gutierrez here this morning from the city of Bryan. Mayor, thanks for being with us this
Absolutely.
morning.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's catch up on. Well, first, since you're here, we haven't talked to you in a while about the Phillips Event Center. Where we stand there?
Well, me and Mayor Pro Tem Edge, and it was Councilman Brisky who toured it about 3 weeks ago or so. And the kitchen I think it's all completed now. I mean, they're waiting on a few stuff and to get the CO. Little maintenance stuff that they're working on right now, but it looks fantastic. I mean, if you can count a storm of blessing that does everything, that was a older facility. It's updated. It looks great, and the chillers are all finally here, and everything that we had to go through COVID to get these products that would never come in. They're finally in, and everything it looks good. It could be any day now. We're days or weeks away from opening and getting that thing rolling.
So ribbon cutting
sign
or
up.
something, aren't we? Gonna have fun for that?
There's going to be we're going to do something because we've had to wait so long. We put off stuff, and it was a test in patience for everybody, not only the council, but the city and Phillips Event Center, their staff as well. But golf course is going great. The bridges are all good right now. Course is looking good, and the facility it's truly amazing.
Let's talk about something else that's been going on for a long time, and that's the trunk line ILA with the city of College Station. Where do we stand there?
Yeah, I think I talked to Keene. We had a meeting yesterday, and we're still in the legal part of it right now. They're going back and forth. We're going to get something worked out. And I know it's going to work out for both of us. I think everybody's working in good spirits. It's just legal takes forever. The little thing, it's always in the details.
Absolutely. We know that there's a major project that's headed toward Rellis. We thought maybe we were going to have some sort of announcement maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Now that's kind of become radio silence. Tell me where we are there.
Well, we're still under the NDA, so we really can't talk about it. And we're waiting on the federal government. Right now it's sitting in the Commerce Department, and all eyes and all ears are hoping that everything goes well. And we just kind of have to wait that project out. We're hoping we're going to hear something in the next 60 to 90 days. I mean, they keep saying that, but it is what it is. I mean, we're one of many, people looking, many cities, many, jurisdictions looking for something like this, and hopefully we get chosen.
Mayor Bobby Gutierrez joined us this morning. Of course, you were in Japan about a month ago. There's a lot of groundwork that has to go on before that, and a lot that has to go on after that. So now you've been there, you've been able to make your impression on them. What's the next step after that because of the time and the funds that you spent going to Japan?
Well, I think, we have a lot of industry coming here, not just the big one that we've been talking about everything. The chancellor announced the peaker plants. He announced the, SMR, small nuclear reactor, stuff like that. He's announced a whole lot of stuff. They're very, very, they're very progressive at Texas A&M University, the system, everything else, to figure out our needs for electricity for the future, for ERCOT, for everybody. And his plan is kind of brilliant. With all of our system colleges scattered out throughout Texas, servicing all the different areas of Texas, it makes sense that could be, because it's state land and it's state money, state reimbursements, and it can go right back into the state because it has to go to, into ERCOT to be dispersed out to everybody. You can't just do them for one facility, even though, having all that stuff there is national security. I mean, you have testing facilities, you have labs, you have all the, things that you have to keep for years and years of research. And when they go black like they did last time, you lose not only millions of dollars, but millions of hours in research and all your samples that were the beta or the test for it.
We'll have the folks from BTU come in and talk about it from their perspective, but from administrative standpoint, the city of Bryan, and as the mayor, what did you hear as far as after event for the power outages that took place because of the hurricane situation that came through?
Well, we fared very well. Obviously, we did really good. We've been able to help our sister cities around the area, around our counties and everything else with cleanups and different things like that. So, Bryan, we were very fortunate. It could have been a lot worse. Obviously, we could have been affected very well, but we do our job. BTU is one of the top, rated in the country for what they do. And, whether it's this or whether it's, working with, the system to do these things for the, we're working with BTU every day, they're working with the system and the colleges. They're good to work with. And like I say, we run it like a business.
Your city is, like all cities right now, going through the budget process. Capital improvement always is at the top because that's a really, really big number. Tell me what kind of discussions and challenges that you've had to deal with this year in the capital improvement phase.
I think we look at that every year, and it's we were talking about earlier. It's a little frustrating. I mean, because all of our improvement projects are stuff that you really can't see. I mean, they have to be done, but you really can't see them, because we're an old city. It's 152 years old, and we have 152-year-old infrastructure in some of these parts of our city, and we know they have to be replaced. We know they have to get done, and we don't know if they're going to break today, tomorrow, next year. They may never break, but you still have to preventatively do. Just like BTU, preparation for anything else, the city has to do the same thing, and we do it. Meanwhile, keeping up with our growth. And our growth, having going from 50 rooftops a year to basically 1,000 rooftops a year. We have new subdivisions coming in. We have these new things. So you got to justify, hey, do I spend this $5 million in digging up this pipeline, this sewer, or this water line, that's not broken yet? Or do we put it into this new subdivision over here because it's going to generate revenue, tax revenue in those houses, and that tax revenue will pay for that $5 million, over time. So we're always balancing that back and forth and trying to figure out where do we go. Meanwhile, you have our sister city to the south, and they're 75 years younger than we are, and they have 75 years more advanced infrastructure than we do, stuff that lasts longer and will last a long time. So their CIP money gets to go to really quality of life stuff, and it's challenging because we're very happy that we have all that stuff next door, and they can build a new park, or they can build a new this or a new that, and we get to build a pipeline that nobody gets to see.
So let me ask you about that, because the commerce in Bryan is different than commerce in College Station on your main thoroughfares. Lots of chains, and that's the sort of situation in College Station. Not so much in Bryan. You have some family-owned or old businesses, smaller businesses, and right now South College, there's a portion that's closed, and that's devastating.
It is devastating.
Where does as one member of council, is there some sort of responsibility that a city should have when you get into those sort of capital projects that the city needs to do to improve the area overall that can crush small businesses?
Well, yeah, I think we do have all of us have a responsibility. All of us do. And, we thought this project was going to take a lot quicker than it did. We've had some setbacks with Frontier, with Verizon, with Suddenlink, and all these different things, replacing and redoing. And it's been very frustrating. Clearly, I've been catching it from every side too. And you can only give so many excuses. At some point, you just got to go, hey, it is. Never want to say it is what it is, but right now we're trying to get it. I said, is there any way we can change this? Much like TxDOT did. If you want to talk about medians and stuff like that, and whatever that may be, which we all hate, we had to redesign, take those medians out of South College because clearly nobody wants medians anywhere. I never wanted them anywhere at all. It's just, but we have them, and we're having to deal with what the consequences are. So we took them out of that, which delayed the project a little bit, which everybody seemed to be happy with getting rid of them. But why didn't we do one side,
but
and then the other side?
Sure, but my thought is, with more mom and pops in Bryan, and there are far more mom and pops in Bryan than there are in College Station, does that have to enter into the equation? Again, is there something the city can do to financially help these people, or in some way support this situation? And then I don't want to go, well, you're doing it for them, you didn't do it for us. But I mean, at some point you put a stake in the ground and go, we've got to do this for the smaller businesses that is a crucial part of Bryan's economy.
Well, I did that. We looked at all of South College, and if you truly look at the number of businesses that are on South College, there's not that many. I mean, you got a lot of residential on South College. You've got, you might go blocks before you hit another commercial, which doesn't make that any less. I mean, believe me, the corner of Texas and Culture, where my place is, was torn up for 2 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, 2 years, and Culture was supposed to take 6 months, and it took a year and a half to do. And the front part of it was the same way with all the deal. It was traumatic for us, so my heart goes out to them. I understand. I truly understand. And, it hasn't made it any better since.
Sure.
So it's, for us, those medians have probably 30% of our business is off.
I understand. Yeah. You can do. Yeah. You can speak to it more than most elected officials can. Anything else for you this morning?
We have First Friday coming up. We have First Friday coming up this weekend, so we have that going on. And then we're going to have the drive-in movie feature with Finding Nemo. That's going to be at the Bryan Aquatic Center. That's Friday, August the 2nd, 8:30 to 11 p.m. We have Farmers Market Saturday coming up this Saturday, August the 3rd, 8 a.m. to noontime. It's always great. I mean, I always tell everybody I get up on Saturday morning and usually do a post for Farmers Market because it's such a hidden gem, and downtown in general. So, my routine is get up, go to Farmers Market, go have breakfast, hang out downtown for a little bit and just kind of see the different businesses and talk to them. We have Float into Fall Sunday, August the 4th. It's going to be at the Bryan Aquatic Center as well. And then, obviously we have the Marina White Night, and we have, Trudy Bennett, and we have Kim Fox from the President's Office and from the Veterinary Diagnostic Lab that are heading that up for us now. We've got a great thing going on. We have our committee that we've got we talk about a committee. We had a committee meeting this last Thursday, I believe, or Friday. I can't remember. My days are all together now. My meetings are all run together, but it was fantastic. Everybody is kind of getting it, and they're excited about it. It's going to be our time to give back to Texas A&M, the systems, university, the agents, staff, faculty, and just turn downtown Bryan into a kind of a collision space of the minds over there, where they can have some R&R for themselves. And truly, I never realized how many people who work and live in A&M and College Station have never been to downtown Bryan, ever, not even one time.
Need to go back.
And so now they've never been introduced to it. So now we have orientation week, and the final day of orientation for faculty orientation, staff orientation. It's going to be, August the 16th, in downtown Bryan, third Fridays, which is going to be every third Friday from now on. And they're going to have a space for themselves to go and meet and see and mingle. And, retention for A&M is one of the key things they talked about, because if you come here and you never lived here before in your life, and you're here, you start teaching classes and you're doing anything, you never go out, you never get to meet people because you're working all the time.
Right.
This gives them a place to go out and meet and see, and hopefully it will keep people, give them a sense of community, a sense of place.
Sure. One more thing while you're here. So Bryan Business Council this month bought a piece of property, a house, I think, on Quail Hollow, which is right near the Phillips Event Center that we're talking about. Tell us about that.
I don't really know all the details about it. I know they were looked at expanding either tennis facility or expanding parking, and it was always kind of a troubled area because it's right at the front entry gate, and it just kind of makes sense. The landowner, it was not a hostile takeover. It was something that, they all agreed, we all agreed, and things like that. But it kind of clears off that whole corner right there.
A little breathing space.
A little breathing space for everything, because it's right up next to it, and it was just a little,
Gotcha. Understand.
little jickety where it is. But,
Okay.
Same thing. I tell everybody, just be good to each other. I mean, it's truly, we're all living in the same world. Everybody's dealing with something, and a smile and a handshake and a compliment goes a long way.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time this morning.
Absolutely.
That's Bobby Gutierrez. He's the mayor of Bryan. We visit with the mayors on Wednesdays.